Chili, come here. Chili, come here. Hey, hey. Come on. Make up your mind. So today's walk is up the Kinyu no Taki trail, in just inside Otake City. This is the bridge leading up to the trailhead. This actually is the trailhead. So this is the Kurikawa River. It's more of a creek right now. And we're headed up in that direction. Oh, this sucks. Chili, gather. Come here. Come on, out. Chili, come here. I'm supposed to be back there. This is the entrance to the Kinyu no Taki, which is Gold Dragon Waterfall. Unfortunately, we can't get back there because they've got it blocked off for some reason. Really popular little swimming hole underneath this waterfall back here. Chili, come here. But we'll abide by the signs and not go back there. We can kind of look down on it from the top though. You know, we got to go back up, cut back up here and back up there, and back up there, and up the hill a little bit. All right, well, that's a bummer, Chili. Let's go. Up, 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 up. Come on, let's go up. So right down there is the top of the waterfall. It's not a big one. Maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 meters tall. But there's a little pool underneath. That's big enough for a dozen adults to swim in. Pretty nice in summertime. A little cold for today, but that's all right. So we're entering the first little park area of the Kinunotaki camp. Little sign here that kind of explains what's going on. And I'll translate it on the video a little bit later. Another trail, 470 meters up this trail is a place where I've camped out before on New Year's Eve and watched the sun come up over the inland sea, Seito Naikai, with my buddy Mike many years ago. Hopefully we'll get to do that again before he goes back to the States this time. And then 300 meters back down that way is where we came from. That would be the parking area where I parked the car. So nice little campground. I used to live down at the bottom of this, just down the road from this, long time ago. Had another dog then named Geen. She was a stray we picked up and kept for many years. She died, and but before that, I used to walk up here with her almost every day. Just to walk from the house. It wasn't that far. She loved it up here. So when she died, I put her in a backpack and carried her up here and all the way to the very back of this trail, which is another, about a half a mile back. There's an old Boy Scout camp back there, and I buried her up behind the flagpoles that existed back there then. I'm going to walk back there today and see if that's still there. I've camped there for hash house harrier runs. We did some weekend camping there and running up in this area too. A long time ago. Something else I don't do very much of. For some reason I've always called this Lion's Head Rock. I don't know if it's actually got a name, but that's what I call it. Because to me it kind of looks like a lion's head from this side. Chili, go down the water. Get some water. Come on, down the water. Good girl. Go get it. Go get the water. It's okay. Hey, good girl. This is one of the streams that leads into the Kurokawa Black River that I pointed out when we were coming across the bridge down there. It's actually one of two streams. The other one runs on the other side of this ridge that you can't see because of all the trees here. This is the bigger of the two. So in the summertime, this is actually, there's no facilities up here except kind of a log cabin head back there, and I think there's another one up the trail still. But if you don't mind drinking fresh water out of a stream, bathing in a stream in summertime, this is pretty nice. As I mentioned earlier, people do camp up here. Not often because it's not really a campground. It's not set up that way. That's more of a park, not a wildlife, it's a wildlife protection area, the Hiroshima Prefecture Wildlife Protection Area. But it's just kind of a place to get out of the city and into nature. Again, there's no facilities except for a couple of these log cabin heads rather, and little playground up here for the kids, place for them to run around. But people do camp up here. This area right here is nicely flattened out. Plenty of dry brush and broken down branches and twigs to build a little campfire. And there's a group of old guys that live in the general area here that maintain this place. I've run into them a couple times up here in the past. So when they're cleaning the place up, which is what they've done probably recently because the trail's really clean. Anyway, when they're cleaning the place up, if they find any, trees that have fallen down, they cut them up and stack them up, and people can use those for firewood. Just really got to be careful because you would want to start a fire up in here. So like I said, you can camp up here, but it means humping all your gear in with you because there's no driving to this place. There's no road in here. It's mostly climbing up over rocks and stuff. Not hard, but it'll get your heartbeat up a little bit. So this is the what used to be kind of a little Boy Scout kind of camp area here. It's apparently hasn't been used in quite some time. That shed was here when I camped up here many years ago. And the flagpoles that I mentioned earlier were right back in here, but I don't see them anymore. No, they're not there anymore. Which kind of leads me to believe probably where I buried the dog, Geen, is also probably no longer here. Although I wouldn't be able to find it anyway because I didn't actually mark it. And it would have been right around in this little area right here, behind this this little cherry tree, which is kind of rotted away now, but it was a sapling back then. So, Geen, if you're still here, you have to say hi. I know you love this place. This is Chili right here. She likes the place too. Chili likes anywhere actually. Now Geen and I, we came up here for quite a few hundreds of walks in this area. Like I said, it was not far from where we lived at the bottom of the hill. And from the time I stepped out the front door till I got up on the trailhead leading up to this area, it was probably about 6 minutes maybe. That's how close we lived. But my buddies Mike and Ray will find this place familiar because we did at least one that I know of Hash House Harrier camp back here. It seems to me that we probably had 20 people or more back here, and we had a bunch of gear, coolers full of beer of course, and our camping gear and just a bunch of other stuff. But we actually came in from this other side, the back side, because it's all downhill. However, and there's a road that leads up, I think maybe about a half mile up this little trail right here, which doesn't look like much, but there's a trail back there. I'm not going up there today. But there's a road that goes up there, and we can park the vehicles there and hump all the coolers and camping gear and stuff down to here. And then the guys would go up and get the vehicles, and I think I was one of them actually, and drive back around and park where I parked today at the bottom of this hill going in this direction. We spent the entire weekend up here just getting shit-faced and generally having a really good time. It's a nice place to camp. You can see that there's trees all around it, but this little area right here is open to the sky. So good weather. It's just beautiful. The creek's right there. People are using that for bathing, and we might be getting water to cook with out there. So yeah, this little storage cabin right here, storage shed. Wow, those old school desks have been here forever. They really have. I mean, not forever, but as long as I've been living here, which is 30 years. The guys that clean this place up store their camping gear. You know, people come up here in the rainy season or on a rainy day, and maybe it's raining when they coming up here, and it's cleared up when they leave, and they forget their umbrellas. So all the umbrellas are collected and left here. And there's a big old jawbone. That's not my dog Geen. She was nowhere near that big. These pails. I remember one time I came up here and these pails were half full of water, and in one of them there was a centipede that had to be 18 inches long and as big around as my thumb from one end to the other. Big old black and orange centipede. Thought it was a snake at first, but I got a closer look at it. I'm not really that, fearful of bugs like that. I don't like spiders much, but centipedes, they do bite and they do hurt. But when they get to be 18 inches long, that's just getting ridiculous. Come on, Mother Nature, give us a break for that. Keep them small, will you? All right, we're gonna head back in the other direction we came and maybe take another trail in a different direction. Okay, so we're on another trail, a little offshoot that we came up the hill from this direction, probably about 200 or 300 meters in elevation climb right there from the scout camp that I was talking about earlier, and came to where it levels off a little bit. The sign reads back to the forest area we came from, and this trail heads to the northwest, and then 420 meters up this trail is I think an overview of the Saito Naikai. So we're going to go up this way a little bit and see if I can get some good shots of that scene, because it's pretty nice. It'll be nice on a day like today. Come on, Chili, we're going to go this way. Come on. Good girl. Let's go this way. All we gotta do is point. She knows right where we're going. It's okay. So this trail goes over, I believe, to that top of that hill right there, and from the top of that hill on the other side you can get a good view of the seaside, inland sea, which is barely visible through that cut right there, and maybe a little more visible if I step out this way a little bit, a little more visible that way. That's up toward Hiroshima, and Miyajima would be straight out that way. And then back on the other side of this hill drops down into the Kinri-no-Taki Park, and then back down to the car. Okay. Here's the view I was speaking of. Get out here on this big old flat rock. That's the trail we just came back up. And it goes up a little higher. We'll go up there in a minute. Charlie, be careful. Yeah, that's Miyajima, or Mia Island out there. Those wooden slat looking things you see, some of you will know what that is, in the water there. Anyway, those wooden slat things, this camera's terrible in zoom, but those are oyster beds. A lot of oyster farming going on out there. In October there's a oyster festival at Miyajima Island and at a lot of little seaside communities like that one right down there in October. Really great times, live music, live bands, some Japanese culture stuff going on, fresh oysters, lots of beer. Okay, we moved up the trail just a little bit, about 15-20 meters, and there's this little rest area here. Kind of nice. Another sign here that kind of tells us where we're at. The red dot right there that says "You are here." And that would be the artist rendition of this, which has been here a long time also. It's all metal on the top, rusty metal, concrete base. It probably at one time might have been an enclosed kind of wooden structure, but it probably doesn't last too long. So this is the trail that leads back down to Kinryutaki, and we'll head down that way in a minute, but I'm going to walk out here to this point where the dog is already at, and you'll be able to get another better view of the Otake Yume Town shopping area and landfill that's turned into industrial park and sports park. Sports park's on the far end down there. Industrial park is closer to this side. That's Otake City, leading out there. As they said, my zoom is not that great on this camera, so anyway, that's looking toward Otake City, Wakicho, and then the farther out there that you go is those paper mills that are on the north side of the Iwakuni base. So you can get a pretty good view from here. And this would be the Seito Naikai Inland Sea. Really beautiful place. Again, Miyajima Island off there in the distance. It's actually a lot bigger than some people think it is. And then up past the point of the island and around the bend would be Itsukaichi, Hatsukaichi, Itsukaichi, and finally, not finally, but eventually up to Hiroshima City. The Seito Naikai runs all the way up the coast past Okayama, and then all the way down the west coast of Japan, the west coast of Japan to Kyushu. So that's why it's called the Inland Sea. All right, nice day. Okay. Back down in the Kinju no Taki park area. There's that sign I put on the video earlier. And the sign that leads up to where we just came down from, 470 meters up that trail. So, that was fun. A lot of good walking today. I'm going to take her down to the water and let her get something to drink, and then we're going to head back home. Come on, Chili. Let's go down to the water. Get some water. Is that good? Is that good water? Oishii. Oishii, nah. Alright, let's